Are you thinking of moving abroad on your own, but feel like it's a really crazy idea? Well, don't, because people are doing it every day. And today I'm going to share with you 15 tips to help you move abroad alone. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Cepee, rhymes with peppy from SheHitRefresh.com, and I help women age 30 and over break free from a life of routine and move abroad or travel the world long term. I moved from Texas to Spain in 2015 when I was 35, all by myself. I'm now 42, I am still here, and I have no plans of moving back. And if you want to learn how to move abroad, be sure to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any move abroad content. Okay, so let's talk about moving abroad on your own. If you're thinking about it, I want to encourage you to go for it and do it. It takes a lot of courage, confidence, self-awareness, and determination to make that move all by yourself. And I want to tell you that it's not going to be easy, but that shouldn't stop you. Moving abroad on your own is going to be one of the best experiences of your life, and I speak from personal experience. And to make your move so much smoother, it's all about preparing before you go. So research as much as you can and get those first-hand accounts from people who have done what you want to do. Having that information is going to help you so much. So with the right preparation and mindset, you will confidently take on this journey because you are resilient and because incredible experiences and opportunities are waiting for you. Plus, plenty of other people have moved abroad on their own, and you can too. So with that, today I'm going to share the 15 tips to help you move abroad on your own. But before we go there, I just want to give a shout out to Andrew Grayson, who commented on my video, 20 pros and cons of living in Spain as an American. And Andrew says, "Thank you, that was informative, ready to leave the US, looking all over Europe." Thank you, Andrew, for stopping by. You're definitely not alone in your want to leave the US. And if you're looking to move to Europe, be sure to check out my video on the 4 easiest countries to move to in Europe for an American. And also, for anyone out there watching who's interested in moving to Europe, also check out my book, I'm Outta Here, An American's Ultimate Visa Guide to Living in Europe. And it lays out the 17 easiest countries that Americans can move to Europe based on viable visa options. So you'll find in the book over 50 different visa options. And if you'd like me to give you a shout out, please comment on this video, leave your questions there, and maybe I'll select yours as the next shout out that I give out. All right, so who is ready to learn about these 15 tips that you need to know before moving abroad alone? Let's get started. Okay, so the first tip to move abroad on your own is to visit your destination before moving. So I can't stress this enough. It's really important to get to know the country and even the city that you want to move to before you make the move. Because you may have this idea in your head of what your dream country and city is like, and then when you arrive, it doesn't really add up to what your expectation was. So explore your new home, try to spend as much time as you can there before you make the move. And in a lot of countries around the world, as an American citizen, you can stay in a country for up to 90 days without having to get a special visa. So try to max out that tourist visa if you can, and use that time there to decide if you really want to move to this place before pulling the trigger and moving forward with the moving process. So the second tip to moving abroad on your own is to join online expat groups. So there are numerous expat communities that exist online that you can join before your move, and you can connect with people who are already living there, living abroad in the place that you want to go. A lot of these groups exist on Facebook, so I highly recommend you to go on there and start searching for groups such as, let's say, for example, if you want to move to France, American expats in France, or even just expats in France. And you can even get even more specific and look for these expat groups for the city that you're interested in moving to as well. And within there, you're going to find tons of information that will answer most of the questions that you have. And the great thing is you'll get to connect with people who have already jumped through all the hoops and hurdles that you're going to experience on your move abroad. The third tip for moving abroad on your own is to prepare all necessary documents. So when you're moving abroad, you're going to have to prepare so many documents for your immigration and for so many other things as well. So take all those original documents that you're going to need to your immigration appointment, but also keep them with you when you move abroad. And be sure to store them in a place that you're going to remember because you may need them again after you make that move. Also, make copies of all of these documents, whether it's your passport, your medical records, your financial records, all that information that you need. Make copies of everything. And a pro tip is to have all of your documents also backed up electronically. So you can do that on Google Drive, you can do that on Evernote, whatever cloud system works for you. Having those documents backed up on an external drive or a cloud drive helps so much in the case that you lose the original document or you can't find it or you just need to access it from anywhere in the world. Tip number 4 to move abroad on your own is to learn the basics of a language. So if you're moving somewhere where the native language is not English, or a lot of people don't need English, you're gonna have to start brushing up on your language skills. So it's not to say that you need to be fluent before you go, but you should have a basic understanding of the language so that you can communicate. Just do simple communication before you arrive and also when you arrive. Because, remember, you're moving there on your own, so you really have to rely on yourself to figure out everything. And having a little bit of language experience is going to help so much. So study those letters, study numbers, study time, directions, and even just how to say basic things and ask basic, simple questions. This is going to go a long way, and it's going to help you not to feel so overwhelmed. If you want tips on how to learn a language, well, check out my link below on learning a language abroad. There's a lot of information there and resources that you can use to start brushing up on a language before you go and also after your move. All right, the next tip here, number 5, to move abroad on your own is to research the best places in the city to live. So again, expat groups are a great place to go. You can put a little post in there and just ask people what the best locations in the city are. You can even let them know what your preferences are so they can help identify a part of the city that would be a good fit for your needs. It's great to get opinions from other people also who are already living there and know the city well. And as I mentioned before, it's a great idea to go and do a pre-trip, a discovery trip. And when you're there in that city doing your discovery trip, you can try out different places in the city to see which neighborhoods you like best. Be sure to scope out, public transportation, how loud it is, the noise levels there during the day and at night. You're going to want to know that. Also, foot traffic and car traffic. Take into account where you're going to be working, if by chance you're working abroad. But really just take the time to really get to know the different neighborhoods before you make the move there. Do that research to help you identify where exactly you'd like to live. Tip number 6 for moving abroad on your own is to pack only what you can carry. A good rule of thumb when moving abroad alone is to keep it light. Since you're not going to have anyone to really help you, bringing items that you can only carry by yourself, for example, 2 suitcases and 2 backpacks, is really the way to go. And honestly, you really don't even need as much as you think. Just take your essentials and pack whatever sentimental that you'd like to take, and everything else you can buy once you make the move. I mean, there's far things worse in life than carrying more than you can handle up a flight of stairs, and a lot of places around the world don't have elevators, or down cobblestone streets all by yourself. If you need a little help and need more information on how to best pack when you're moving abroad, check out my post below on the 25 essential packing tips for moving abroad. Tip number 7 to moving abroad on your own is to keep an open mind. So remember, visiting somewhere and living there are 2 totally different experiences. And a lot of time we can get caught up and have a romanticized view of what it would be like to live somewhere. But the honest fact is, when you live somewhere long term, when you move abroad, you're going to experience all those amazing things of the city and country that you're living in, but you're also going to face the challenges and the obstacles that come with that big kind of life change. But don't let that deter you, because it's all just part of the journey. Keep an open mind. Be sure to open yourself up to new experiences and new people, and remind yourself that you're in a new atmosphere. Things are going to be different, and that's okay. It may feel overwhelming at first, but that's okay. Just keep that open mind and just be kind to yourself through the process. Tip number 8 is to connect with expats in your new city. So you've joined these expat groups, you've searched around, maybe you've asked a few questions, and now it's time to connect in person. So don't be shy. Create a post that says that you'd love to meet with other people, you've moved here on your own. Just, move up for a chat or a coffee, and there you go. You're on your way to meeting some new people and putting yourself out there. Moving abroad on your own can be an isolating experience at times, especially if you don't put in the effort to really get out there. So sign up for language classes, check meetup.com to see what events are going on in your new city, and go out there, connect with other like-minded people. While it's great to connect with locals, connecting with expats sometimes is the fastest way to start meeting people in your new city. Tip number 9 for moving abroad on your own is to go to the free events around the city. You're gonna wanna explore your new home, but all that sightseeing and going out can really add up, but it doesn't have to. And there are tons of free or cheap activities to do everywhere you go. Everything from free walking tours, to free days at the museum, to free food tasting at local markets. Again, you can find events in the Facebook groups that I've been talking about on meetup.com and even Eventbrite. Tap into those resources to see what's going on in your city. All right, tip number 10 is to be comfortable being alone. So moving abroad alone, you're gonna find yourself with a lot of time to yourself. And if this is something you're not used to, then now is the time to start. So when moving abroad, you may not know anybody, and it does take time to build friendships when you've put yourself in a totally new environment, especially if you wanna make deep friendships with people, long-lasting friendships, and meet people that you wanna spend a lot of time with. Be patient and enjoy this alone time as you build up your new life. But on the flip side of that, tip number 11 is to prioritize making friends. Having a sense of community is important no matter where you are in the world. So prioritize yourself and put yourself out there and start trying to make those friendships. But if this is making you nervous because you feel like you're a bit of an introvert, don't worry, just take it slow. Go to events like those meetups that I've been talking about, language exchanges, and even group tours. Those are just a great way to meet people without too much pressure. It's kind of like dating. You gotta go out with a lot of different people to find the right match. So when you're out there trying to make friends, give it time, but if you find someone that seems like a good friend match, don't be shy. Ask for their contact info, take the initiative, and be proactive to start establishing those friendships and making a community for yourself where you're living, because it's gonna feel so much more like home when you have that sense of community. Tip number 12 is to join in on local customs and celebrations. So research local customs, celebrations, city holidays, national holidays, and plan some fun activities around them. And just get into the routine of celebrating when and how the locals do. This is a great way to tap in also to those local friends that you're making. See if you can just tag along and see if you can learn more about the local culture from your new friends. Tip number 13 to moving abroad alone is to stay connected with family and friends back home. When moving abroad alone, your family and friends back home are going to be a huge part of your support system. And it's really important to stay in touch with them, especially at the beginning when you may feel at your loneliest. And with technology, it's so easy to stay in touch. You can stay in touch on social media, through text, phone calls, video calls. There are so many ways. And if you have a big time zone difference, be sure to schedule those calls in advance and find a time that will work best for everybody who's going to be on the call. And with the distance of moving abroad, you may just feel like you're living in a completely different world than your friends and family, but it's really important to continue to be involved in their lives and to maintain these bonds by also sharing what's going on in your life with them. Tip number 14 is a really important one, and that is to prepare for things to go wrong. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst, right? So not everything's gonna go to plan when you move to abroad, and it's not always gonna be sunshines and rainbows. You may face unexpected expenses, God forbid injuries, broken electronics, anything is really possible, so just come prepared. And like anywhere in the world, theft is always a possibility, so just be sure, I can't stress enough, to back up those important documents. Any videos or photos that you have, back those up too in case of anything valuable of yours gets lost so that you have those. Some other tips are maybe to always to have a little bit of cash stored somewhere in case of emergencies, and then also make a copy of the keys to your home and leave that with someone that you trust, to a friend or a neighbor, just in the case that you lock yourself out of your new apartment. All right, we made it to the last tip here. Number 15, the last tip to moving abroad on your own is to say yes to just about everything. You're on a new, exciting adventure all on your own, so be open to whatever comes your way. So that means no matter what the question, the answer is yes. Okay, there may be some exceptions, but if someone wants to get a coffee with you, just say yes. Get invited to the movies, just say yes. Ask to go traveling for the weekend with a group, just say yes. Any chance for fun new experiences is an opportunity to not only connect, but to also make experiences and memories of a lifetime. All right, we did it. Thank you so much for making it this far. And if you are thinking of moving abroad on your own, just do it. Remember that moving abroad is all about taking yourself out of your comfort zone so you can continue to grow, gain a greater sense of self, and gather incredible experiences. You've got this and you can do it. And if you need some more resources to help you move abroad, be sure to check out my digital book, I'm Outta Here, an American's Ultimate Visa Guide to Living in Europe. And in this digital book, you'll find over 50 visa options for the 17 easiest countries to move to in Europe. I did the research so you can find everything that you need to make your European dream come true. And if you're a woman age 30 and over, please join my Facebook group, She Hit Refresh. There you'll meet over 9,000 women all around the world who have moved abroad or want to do so. You'll find tons of information, inspiration, and resources to help you with your move abroad. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any move abroad content.